What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Established Run's NBA Injury Report Analysis Show. I'm Drew Dinkmeyer here with Mike Gallagher to walk you through tonight's opening round of the play-in tournament, bracket style, single elimination, loser leave town matches on the docket tonight. Mike, how are you feeling about in-season tournament bracket time?
I love it. I'm pretty excited. I think I had pretty high hopes for it, and they met them. Pretty excited. I love the details that the NBA put out for their cup. Let me pull that up really quick. It's if you haven't seen it on the interwebs. Oh, I'll get it in a sec. I don't have it. Here's the cup. I'll pull it up in a sec. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited. How are you excited?
Yeah, I think we've got a good mix of teams. I'm excited by the games themselves, especially tonight's game should be fast-paced and entertaining offensive affairs. I think that'll be the case in tomorrow night's games as well. So it's nice to have some, fun, different teams. You've got a good mix of like old brand and new guards. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, there's the cup details. The 23 inches high for the year of the inaugural event. Pretty cool. Yeah, I love these details. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think I do think it's funny. You see all these like championship rings and all the things that like this symbolizes this, and there's this many diamonds for this thing. And I just wonder like who's got the job that's like, look, there's this one part of the ring or the cup or the trophy that we don't have anything assigned for. We need to craft a narrative around this. We've got all these other ones. We've got number 6 here. We've got number 8 here. Like what's the reason? And they come together and they figure it all out. So appreciate the marketing for everybody. All right, let's get into the games. 2 games tonight, so this will be relatively quick. We'll start with Boston and Indiana. On the Boston side, Kristaps Porzingis still out with the left calf strain. Jordan Walsh on G League assignment. There was notes that Kristaps Porzingis may be nearing a return, which is good news for those interested in backing Boston throughout the duration of this in-season tournament. Perhaps he could be back in time for Thursday if they were to move on here. If not, it sounds like Saturday is a possibility if they were to move on to the finals. What are your notes here on the Celtics?
Yeah, we kind of know where we're at. I think we're going to probably see an 8-man rotation here. With the starting lineup, obviously Horford in there. We'll see a little bit of Sam Hauser, certainly Pritchard. I think Luke Kornet's in there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this game go really small. We've seen the Pacers especially go really small. We've seen some OB center lineups a bunch, and they could get away with that. So I think that that may play into Boston's hands a little bit too. So obviously we could have some elevated minutes here. Tatum is so rested. He's only played 27 minutes since Tuesday night's game, so. Yeah, he could play a bunch here. We've seen Jaylen Brown's minutes starting to come up again. They were a little bit down from some minor injuries. We know Drew Holiday will certainly get the Tyrese Halliburton matchup, which we'll talk about in a second, assuming he's in there. But yeah, I think this rotation could be one of the tightest, and it helps that the Celtics, don't have high-end depth. Hey, guess what? You don't need it today with the way this is going to be kind of a playoff-ish kind of rotation.
Yeah, the challenge will be is if they can keep the rotation shorter in a game against Indiana, who is going to make you play very, very fast, right? That's kind of the big question for me is whether it's a hard 8 or whether it expands to 9 simply because of the pace of the game. And if they do expand to 9, who that 9th person would be is also a question mark as well. But I would say getting into whether we're expecting playoff rotations from these teams, I think the way that we've kind of described and tried to take a look at it is maybe like giving 75% credit to what we think a playoff rotation might look like and 25% to what a regular season rotation might look like. Not sure that we should lean all the way in because we haven't seen it before. It's also different in playoff series when you have more days off in between games. This one does have 2 days off in between a potential next game, so maybe we do see it. But those are kind of our notes around expectations for shorter rotations in this type of format.
Yep.
All right, let's move to the Indiana Pacers. They do have notes on their injury report. Tyrese Halliburton questionable with an upper respiratory infection. He missed Saturday night's game in Miami. Feel bad for Tyrese not only missing the game, but I mean, if you get one trip down to South Beach during the course of the season and you're sick for the whole trip, that's a bummer. So Tyrese questionable tonight with that upper respiratory infection. Obi Toppin also questionable with a left ankle sprain. Otherwise, the G League guys on the injury report. And they're without Jalen Smith, who's still dealing with the left knee, left heel bone bruise contusion combo. So what are your notes and expectations around Tyrese Halliburton and Obi Toppin tonight?
Yeah, certainly the biggest injury tag on the slate today with respect to Chris Duarte. Yeah, it's an illness, but I mean, he wants to play in this game. You know, there was commentary in the offseason that he's excited being in the spotlight. They don't have a lot of national TV games, so I would be pretty shocked if Halliburton at least doesn't try to play. How well can he play through an illness? You know, that's TBD. So we'll be watching. I'm sure Underdog will have every detail about warm-up times and all that stuff. Yeah, so expecting him to go. Obi Toppin played through this ankle injury and played great. He guarded Jimmy Butler as well. There was commentary from Rick Carlisle saying that they're kind of more open to Obi guarding bigger wings, which is, you know, Jason Tatum probably here, who was my matchup cover boy because of that. I think Tatum could really put it on Obi here, but don't expect him to play through this ankle injury. Obviously, you know, ankles swell up even if you do return from injuries. So that would mean if he doesn't play, Aaron Nesmith would step into the starting lineup. Revenge game from him. He would certainly pick up a lot of that Tatum matchup. Jaylen Brown likely getting Bruce Brown on him. And then, you know, Halliburton's going to have to guard Drew on both sides and have to deal with him. And Drew's done a pretty good job on Halliburton over his career. So, you know, pretty tough spot. The role will be there. The Celtics allow the most dribble jumpers in the NBA. So if Hallie's healthy and cooking, huge upside. We've got a little bit of minutes added to him, not too much because of the illness. I think we got 38s on Jason and 37 on Halliburton, just with a little bit of downside risk. But yeah, and then I mentioned the small ball lineup. They are running the small ball lineup out there a little bit more, and they're going to need it today just to put the wing defense out there. So I could see Aaron Nesmith affecting Isaiah Jackson's minutes here, especially with the way Boston's going to fire up threes. So I'm expecting this to play a little bit smaller here.
Chat asking if beat reporters have asked coaches about plans for rotations. Have you caught anything in the pressers that you've listened to about beats asking any of these types of questions?
No, I don't think so. Just going from the context. They care. You know, there's that Jason Tatum comment a week ago, but I mean, they were hack a drumming. They wanted to win this thing. So yeah, I don't think that it's a question that's needed. It's kind of just understood that I think this is important to teams to go out there, their competitiveness and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that, you know, we're, as you said, like 70% baking into a playoff kind of rotation, but I think that it could be 100%, you know? So there's a lot of ceiling, and it'll be interesting to talk about you guys on the DFS show.
Yeah, I think also just in general, beat reporters are going to be a little bit hesitant to ask coaches questions specifically about how much they intend to play guys. It's just like, it's kind of, it's bordering on the strategy side of things. And so some questions you might just have natural kind of hesitation around asking there. New Orleans and Sacramento. On the New Orleans side of things, they'll be without Larry Nance Jr. and Matt Ryan. Otherwise, they will have CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy around, who were both absent from Saturday night's disappointing loss in Chicago. What are your notes here on the Pelicans?
Yeah, so we saw Trey return in the Friday game, rested the back-to-back. He looked great. The transition game was there. He was running out an open floor, 18 points in 22 minutes, shot the lights out, got 10 threes up, and that's huge. He was the NBA's most efficient transition player here. You know, the Kings play pretty fast, so I could see Trey Murphy making pretty big impact. CJ McCollum returned last week from the lung, had a minutes cap on him, and then he got no minutes limit in his second game in an easy win over the Spurs. Gets up to 38 minutes, so he'll be playing full. Certainly Zion, BI, Herb will have the Fox assignment, so tough matchup for him. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We'll see a little bit of Najee. Hawkins minutes are going to be down again, you know, in the teens. That was a pretty great bet from us on Friday to bet his under. And then, yeah, Dyson Daniels minutes have really gone away. We'll see if they go into him more. They used Dyson Daniels on Fox in an earlier matchup when they were starting him and Herb together. But it'll certainly be Herb. But, yeah, expecting, you know, not too many minutes from the bench. I think the starters minutes could be pretty elevated. Obviously, Brandon Ingram could play, you know, upper 30s as well.
All right. Sacramento side of things, Chris Duarte listed questionable here. Keegan Murray not on the injury report, so it sounds like he's good to go. Alex Len still out with the right high ankle sprain. What are your notes on the Kings tonight?
Yeah, I don't think they need Duarte anyways. They're probably going to want to play a little bigger. We've seen that this triple big-ish lineup, I guess you could call them 3 power forwards, sort of, with Sabonis, who's came up as a power forward at times, with Sasha Vezenkov and Trey Lyles. We've seen that front court, get minutes together, most notably in that Warriors game. So I think they kind of lean into that. They don't have Duarte. Keegan Murray did return from that back injury. He was not very good, and he got hooked. Mike Brown pulled him out and talked to him on the bench about not being aggressive with a shot and all that. So yeah, we'll see if he can kind of keep it going. The floor minutes are down, but we've seen him run up there in upper 30s. So pretty wide range of outcomes. I would say him and Obi Toppin have just huge. They are really hard minutes projections to do because it could just go completely sideways or it could just be mooning to upper 30s. So. Yeah, and then De'Aaron Fox, what a season, man. 16 dimes, career high. He's been playing lights out, big win against the Nuggets, and 4th in the NBA in scoring. It is kind of crazy. He'll have a ton. He's, if we do the minutes game, which we did last, what was it, Tuesday?
Yep.
I think who would be your number? Would it be Fox or Tatum, I think, are the viable who leads the NBA minutes tonight?
I think Tatum would be the lean tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think those two guys are quite clear. And then, Sabonis, good matchup. Pelicans, weak rim defense. So he's going to be a really important piece. He's been kind of mediocre in this matchup.
Yep. All right. That'll do it. Just 2 games on the docket. We have another 2 games tomorrow. So we'll be back again for another edition of Established Run's NBA Injury Report Analysis Show tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern. Of course, if you're enjoying this content, want to support us, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, get notifications whenever we go live. I'd like to get to 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel by the end of the NBA season. So that is a goal you can help us achieve by subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you're interested in joining us behind the paywall for more of our content, myself and Gary Hartman will be behind the paywall at 5:00 Eastern today, going over the 2-game slate, taking strategy questions and talking through where there's potential pivots to the chalk in what expects to be, a highly overlapped kind of 2-game playoff oriented slate. So we'll talk through it there. You can also find more information around our props package. Please, if you are interested in joining the props package under any circumstance, please read that FAQ in anticipation of understanding kind of what you're getting into with the props. We feel really good about what we're doing there, but it's obviously difficult to get the props if you are a subscriber to the props package and you want to be prepared to check it out. Only a weekly subscription there. We do not do any annual subscriptions there because we want people to feel free to cancel if it's not working out for them. As always, if you enjoy the free content that we're posting and want to help feed that algorithm, you can hold down firmly, press gently, caress lovingly the like button. You can even smash it if you're in a really excited mood today. But you smash that like button, it helps feed the algorithm, which helps feed our families and allows us to feed you the NBA injury information analysis you need to make your DFS lineups, your season-long lineups, your spread bets, and your prop bets. So smash that like button, help feed the algorithm. It helps keep feeding us, and we'll keep feeding you that NBA injury information analysis you need each and every day. We'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of Established Run's NBA Injury Report Analysis Show. Take care, everybody.